Before we get to the show for today, I want to thank our sponsor, Anchor.fm. As you probably have heard by now, SportsWire has moved to Anchor.fm for its podcast hosting and distribution. It's the easiest way to make a podcast, and let me explain why. Main reason is that it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, and then Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on any platform there is. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, anywhere. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So take it from me, Vinny Apicella from the Sports Wire. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to the most electrifying podcast in all of internet radio today. You are listening to the Sports Wire. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vinny Apicella, and it is now 1:08 a.m. in Meriden, Connecticut on Friday, March 27th, 2020. And we're here for you, another daily show. It's now day 4 in a row, I believe. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening. I know that in these trying times and the fact that we're all socially isolated and quarantined and locked down and everything, that you're going to want some entertainment. You're going to want something to look forward to. And I hope to be able to provide that to you. And as always, my name is Vinny Apicella. I am here with you on this another special quarantine edition of the Sports Wire. What are we going to talk about today? Really not much going on, although big news, Roman Reigns has pulled out of WrestleMania. He's pulled out of the main event match against Goldberg for the Universal title, which is a smart move. You know, the fact that he, is in remission from leukemia, he's got compromised immune system, or he's considered immunocompromised. It makes sense. He put his health over everything, which is a good thing, and I applaud him for that. Like I also mentioned yesterday, Rey Mysterio and Dana Brooke are also in quarantine as well, self-isolation. They won't be competing at WrestleMania either. So, the coronavirus has hit the WWE big time. Not only with having moved WrestleMania to the Performance Center and had it pre-recorded for the first time in history, but now one of the main eventers has pulled out. So, I mean, honestly, at this point in time, my advice to the WWE, to Vince McMahon, be to cut your losses. Like, seriously, shut down. And the same for AEW. Well, I applaud them for going on, and I applaud them for wanting to perform. I'm not denying that, and I applaud both companies for performing and wanting to go on to provide us entertainment. There is a way to do it without putting the superstars, putting the, wrestlers, the commentators at risk, because, quite honestly, you don't need to worry about all of that. But, I applaud Roman Reigns for doing that, and I mean, my advice right now would be to cut your losses, kind of put things on hold. For Raw or SmackDown, go ahead and put on older episodes. Go back to the Attitude Era. Go back to the Ruthless Aggression Era. Try to recapture some of those fans that you lost over the years by putting the older stuff on, and then, kind of go forward with it. Put on some Nitros, put on some ECW. You have the whole freaking library. Go ahead and do that. It'll drive traffic, or do clip shows to drive traffic to the WWE network. To say, hey, if you like what you watch, go sign up for $9.99 a month. It could happen, but we'll see what they end up deciding to do. Uh, Also, one thing that's really bugging me about this whole thing? Like, I get the idea behind closing down the restaurant dining rooms. Closing down the bars, only takeout and delivery. I get all that, and I agree with that. I understand that. But you know what I don't understand is these places that are closing early because of this pandemic. This coronavirus. And the reason why I say that is, okay, so Price Chopper, they're closed. They work 24 hours. They're closing now at 1 a.m., reopening at 6. I understand they want to stock the shelves, but they've been doing that, the whole time. CVS now closes at a certain time, opens at 6 a.m. McDonald's is stopping their all-day breakfast. Okay, streamlining the restaurant. I get it. They're shrinking their menu as well. A lot of places are limiting their hours. I get it. Give them some time to the immunocompromised, the old people. 6 to 7:30 a.m. or whatever, because we all know they get up with the sun. I get that, and I understand and appreciate that. But why close early? Like, why stop being 24 hours? It's like it's not like this virus doesn't affect people after 8 p.m. It's not like there's a curfew or a limit. Like, this coronavirus will not be contagious after 8 p.m. So, like, or it's not like it's super contagious after 8 p.m. You got to get home by 8 p.m. because it's super contagious at that point. Like, seriously? Come on now, people. Like, that's just absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, I understand getting getting all the, all the stores, all the companies to set up certain hours and keep people socially distant, and set up certain hours for the older people, the elderly, the people that, have problems with their immune system. I get that. Seriously. But why close early? I don't know. I'll never understand that. I do want to mention that coming up over the next week or so, we're going to have some guests on the show. I've been trying to get a couple of people. First off, I want to announce either next Monday or Tuesday, depending on when I decide to drop the show. Bubba Collins from Memory Lane Podcast. Easy for me to say. Memory Lane Podcast will be on with me. We'll be going over WrestleMania, some WWE stuff. Check out this week's episode of Memory Lane Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere. Check them out. It's all about WrestleMania. It's all about him and his co-hosts' top 5 WrestleMania matches, and a lot to do with wrestling. So I'm sure we'll go over the same thing. Also been talking to a couple other people, trying to get them signed up. While we're all socially distant, we do have Skype, we do have our phones, and we can record podcasts. So that's what we're going to do. Try to entertain all you people out there. Who I haven't heard anything from lately? Matt Kuhn. He came back with Total Engagement, and was going to be once a week or whatever. And I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since he released a podcast of it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Starting March 30, Monday, Monday, March 30th, this coming Monday. It looks like there's going to be a singular Patreon for all of Conrad Thompson's podcasts. 83 weeks, Arn, What Happened When, Grillin' JR, and What Happened, or Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. They're all going to be on there. I listen to other episodes. I also listen to Jim Cornette Experience and Corny's Drive-Thru, both of them as well. And I did subscribe to Jim Cornette's Patreon. God help me. But I did because, I want to catch up on some of the older podcasts. I happen to enjoy listening to Corny's unique point of view. He's very smart when it comes to wrestling, As far as politics, no. But that's where I'm going to stop right now. He does have me blocked on Twitter because I do support our president. He does not. Let's see. What else? I did watch, I started to watch AEW Dynamite. I haven't gotten through it yet because I have to do some homework. So I'm going to do that tonight. Looks pretty cool. I don't like the idea of having Kenny Omega on commentary. Like, they had Tony Schiavone there, but Jim Ross was not there. Excalibur was not there. Taz was not there. I mean, I get it if you want to switch off broadcasting teams, but at least put Tony with Taz. And then put JR with Excalibur, or get rid of Excalibur altogether. But, you know, kind of split them up. Don't put Omega on commentary. He sucks. You know, Cody had a good match against Jimmy Havoc, but again, you can see the lack of experience from Jimmy Havoc in the match. That's how far I've got through. I will be watching the end of it today or tomorrow, and I will be going over that probably on tomorrow's episode. And I did hear that they were doing something with Matt Hardy where he was teleporting. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll have to wait and see. But anyways, this has been another episode of Potpourri. That's all we're going to have for right now until things start up again. But I did report what I have. Okay, my name is Vinny Absella. Thank you for listening to the Sports Wire. What I do want to let you know that when I do have guests on, they will be longer episodes. They may be an hour or 2 hours, depending on our conversation and where it goes. You know, and it'll be more entertaining for you. So I want to thank you all for listening. Again, my name is Vinny Absella. Follow me on Twitter at VAbsella SWE. Follow the Sports Wire on Twitter and Instagram at SportsWire Audio. Email sportswireaudio@gmail.com, and go over to sportswireaudio.com. That brings us to our Anchor.fm homepage. Anchor is not only our sponsor, but they're also our platform that we use. They're the easiest way to create a podcast, and you know what? It helps you to monetize a podcast as well. You know, when I was on Spreaker, I think maybe throughout the entire lifetime with all the podcasts we had on there, maybe we earned $3. I've been on Anchor since November, you know, maybe 6 months now, and it's already at $40. But, you know, I want to grow it as much as I can, and I thank you all for listening, and go ahead and support the show as well. So, again, thank you. My name is Vinny Absella. This is Sports Wire. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.